يا رسول الله يا
أهلا وحياكم الله وكل عام وأنتم بخير. اليوم 26 من 9 1447 هجري والموافق بيوم الاثنين وهي يوم الأم. ما شاء الله تبارك الله. It is the 26th of the 9th 1447. It is يوم الاثنين, the second cycle, which is the mother cycle. It is the mitochondria and the energy that is sustaining the natural planet, which we call Mother Earth. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Today we are going to wrap up this 7-year mission that we've been assigned over since the COVID evolution in our lives. And mashallah, tabarakallah, because we specialize in reformations and codings with programmings, and we are we are soul tribes in earth. Okay, we are very and we are very aware of who we are. Okay, we are not here as popularists. We are not here to establish organizations or become or hold titles. That was never our reading, people. What you as a human civilization need to understand is that the kitab that you're talking about that was revealed on Laylatul Qadr was the book that you were supposed to read. That was the revelation, that was the Qadr. Which portion of the book were you given to read your scroll? So you can't understand the Quran. For 100 years you have been reading this Quran, but you've never understood it. So how can Laylatul Qadr just be one night? It's impossible, okay? What you need to understand as an individual, not to what we understand. Our understanding of our purpose is different to your understanding, because you must still learn as to what is the reason why you came into earth. Why is your mother your mother? Why is your father your father? That's the scroll you had to read. That's the kitab. يعني أنزلناه إنا أنزلناه. يعني it's in the past. It's not in the present. Okay. It is what you are given in your left hand or in your right hand. فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ. If you found your book 7 years ago in the right hand, then you could read your book easily. You don't have to still go and ask for somebody to interpret your personal book, your personal digest. Okay, your personal pursuit of your cause and your effects. Okay, this is what Allah has prescribed for you, and by your understanding, just for you to understand something before you don't understand who you are. You yourself wrote this book before you came here, but you completely forgot everything. It was removed from your pineal gland. You can't read your book when your pineal gland is activated, which is your nausea. When you should supposed to read, your special lenses comes onto your eyes. Okay, your inner eye. Okay, then you're going to read the book, which is encoded. It is encrypted. Kitabum markum. It was told to you in Surah Al-Mutaffifin. Okay, where you're going to have to not read specifically the Quran. Just read your book. Only your book. If you can't read your book today after 60, 70 years, brothers and sisters, then you are busy with the wrong God. You have been misled into the deepest of the darkness of ignorance, okay? Which is the Jahannam, which is the ignorance, okay? It's the unconscious realms, right? You can't be doing something perpetually for 50, 60 years and you still cannot read. When we tell you Ikra, then you say, Ma ana biqari. Then what the hell are you worshipping? Why have you come here? Where's your God? Where's your prophet? Where are your ancestors? Okay? Now, you didn't start making sense to your next generations, to be honest with you guys. We already saw through the lenses, through the ribs. Hey, die mense is by mekaar met corruption nie. So, hulle is besig met 'n kalf, okay? Hulle lees nie hulle boekie. Hulle was gegee die sleutels van hulle personal boekie. Hulle glo net in wat mense sê en hulle het niks kontak met die Here, die hoë Here nie. Okay? Your children has decoded your where you caught up in the nets that you are caught up in. Okay, they are knowing. It's not because they know more. It's because of what you did, and what you did not do. That's why they are given the freedom to read their scrolls. And when they read their scrolls, they can see how contaminated and how infested their last generation that was destroyed is and was. Okay. They believe in the unseen, but they believe in nothing that is seen. Okay? In other words, they cannot see people. They were blind. They cannot read their books. when the books came, when the Malaikas came, when Jibreel came, when Mikael came, they asked him, Ikra, read your book, read your scroll, man. And which hand are you reading your book from? From your right hand or from your left hand? We saw you, mother, we saw your father cannot read your own book. You are reading the Mills and Boons, and you are reading the U, and you are reading the motorsports, and you are reading this, and you are reading, but your own personalized book that you were given, Yani, as your navigator, that is always there. It's always fulfilled its purpose. It's just us that is unaware of what was in our scrolls and what is in our kitab. Not the Quran, people. A prophet doesn't bring you a book, he brings you your ability to access your personalized scrolls, your kitab. Okay, the book that you were supposed to fulfill when you came into this journey of yani, earth. Now, that book has different chapters. Now, you and I are alive in this age because we were supposed to fulfill our purpose in our chapter today. Yani, not look for a night. There is no light outside, people. The light is only inside. You are lost in the dark today. After 70 years, you're a grandmother, you're a great grandmother, you cannot read your own book. Now, what God is so selfish? Ask yourself that. What God is so self centered that He does not give you the keys unless you are busy with the wrong God? Unless you are busy with the wrong God, unless you've lost your way, unless you have been busy with idolatry. Okay? You must understand what your children is telling you this. Okay? Innal abarara lafi sijjin. Okay? The Quran says, uh, where is that now? One second. كتاب مرقوم. Yes, this. كلا إن كتاب الفجار لفي سجين. You know, the fujjar are those people that comes from fajr. It comes from the word fajr. Now, fajr yani has fujur in it. Now, most of us has been perpetually living in the wrong fujur, in the wrong fajrs. Okay, we've never found the real dawn when when the age had come to a gradual end. Okay, then you had to be given your new chapter so that you can read your book, and then the malaika tells you, Ikra, Ikra Maryam, Ikra Hassan, Ikra Yusuf, Ikra Paran. You don't need to know Arabic. You only need to know your honest truth. You only need to know how intact you were with your God and divine pulse. Because that pulse speaks to you, people. You are never alone in this journey. You have been assigned a consultant. You've been assigned a consultant. When you ask, they will feed you with what you need if you are honest with yourself and if you know yourself. Okay. When you claim you believe in unseen and akhirah, believe you me, you align to yourself, you align to Allah, you align to the Prophet, because you have no idea what you guys are believing in. Okay. You believe in superficial things, people. Your children is telling you this today. Okay. So it's a matter of understanding your journey, understanding how yani how advanced Allah is, how advanced Allah's technology is, how expanded his vocabulary is, and how sophisticated the operational systems of Allah is. Okay, you were stuck on one page and you couldn't flip the page here. Okay, guys. Now at this stage, if you cannot read your book, you are in the dark, people. Get that straight. Okay. We cannot we must stop being accommodating here. Okay. We must say the truth so that you know where you are situated, because since COVID you chose to go back to the Jahannam. You chose to go back to the dark room. You chose not to read your book. Today your children are reading their books. Why? Because they didn't want to go back to where their parents had dumped them before. Okay. Allah gave birth to a new conscious in this earth today. Okay, and in that conscious there is nur, there is transparency, there is hope. Okay, there is goodwill there, but it is not amongst those who claim that they know who their gods is if they cannot read their personalized scrolls, people. Okay, but nothing to do with an external book. It's all inside of us. Okay, you don't become ignorant because you didn't read. You become ignorant because you stagnate and you become self-centered and selfish. Okay, now that is what happened to most of you when you came into earth. Okay, you went and followed external gods, external civilizations that it doesn't correlate with your timeline of conscious. You're coming into this time of a conscious unfolding here. A new earth is being raptured here into a new beginning, not an end. We passed the end, people. We are now in a new beginning. Okay, but because we read our scrolls, we speak to our God, and our Allah speaks to us all the time through different ayats, people. We are not lost. We don't, there's no fear where you are with Allah. Okay, you don't question anybody else because you are sufficient. Your God or your Rabb is sufficient. Okay, now in 7 years, you as people who claim you believe supposed to have been here. You don't need to be intelligent. You only need to be honest, man. Now, how much of lies did you go through for 7 years to still believe that God is making a sale and He's going to forgive your sins? You believe in a God that creates sins, people. That's the Turisi Nina. That is the Sinai. Sinai is a sin that is an artificial intelligence, man. That was all spelled into the Egyptian mythologies, man, people. Okay? That's what you had to read between the lines, okay? That's how you had to understand that that was just something which was allegorical. It was something which was meant for you to analyze and to decode and to find the patterns in it, right? And then understand that the entire interpretation of the book was hijacked. It was manipulated, okay, to keep you into that low end of having to return and serve your sentences as what you've done since COVID. Most of you have failed your exams, okay, because you were misled by spiritual gurus, okay, people who you think know Allah and know Rasul better than you. Each one was given equal access and equal knowledge, just they making money out of you, and they are claiming that they are doing Allah service. Allah don't need anybody to do him a favor, people. You can only do a favor to yourself. Okay, man amila salihan fali nafsihi. You've been given the bad situations of understanding the game. Okay, and now you're reading it as substitutes, and because you are spectators most of the time, your entire your league has been fixed, people. Okay, those who you think so are winning, they already fixed up with the opposition to say how the game must be spun. Okay, you just don't know because you are asleep in the game of life. All right. The Kitab, again, mashallah, tabarakallah, our forefathers, they taught us this knowledge. You're not going to get it from another nation. To read your personal scroll, your ancestors must teach it to you. They must tell you how to go internally. They must tell you what is the evolution and how the different seasons and cycles comes and ends. That's their work, people. That is what we are doing for our next generations. Because look, let's be frank here. Nobody pre-warned us here. Amongst the past civilizations, the ancient, not the ancient, the patriarchs. Okay, that's why we had to close the age in 1440, 41. We had to close that patriarch age, and module a landscape that would make the mothers the foundation of any civilization. That is the Mariams of the civilization. That is the Khadijas. That is the yani Ummul yani Mu'minat. You have to put them in the. They are the Abanat of Lut. Today, yani we are getting our intuitions from Banat of Lut. Okay, that's the pure side, yani the feminine side of us. Okay, as I'm speaking to you as a so-called male now, right? Yani we are pure and therefore we can tap into those streams, those data centers where we can evaluate what is the signals coming out through the resources of the purity of the values of the daughters of Lut. Okay, those great mothers, women in our midst today. Okay, some of them don't really understand, but they are resources of the tribe of the Lut Advents. Okay, and how they now sending signals out to us, okay, so that we can understand how the game is being run about. Okay, people, we are conscious, man, guys. We are souls, people. We are living in an advent where we are in a quantum field now. This is qiyam, people. This is the unknown zone. If you don't have yaqeen, you're going to be fearful every day, and they're going to all the time earmark you to get you into that tunnels. Okay, mashallah, tabarakallah. That's why we always maintain our ancestors, they were of the ancient tribes of this revolution, and they had taught us as when we were young. And today, when we find that there's a change of the cycles and that we are heading into Jannah now, people, this is Qiyam. In Qiyam, you're either in Jahannam or you're in Jannah. Okay? You are of a species because you cannot read your own books. When Jibril came to you and asked you to read, you said, Ma ana biqari. I didn't lisi. Ek is dom, ek is illiterate. It's just that you lost your way. You lost your path. You lost your tariq. I lost my tariq. Okay, just understand your book is not the kitab that Allah is speaking about all the time. It is the internal book that is your scroll that you are alone accountable for, and you cannot flip it open because you are in a dark space. Okay, now at this moment in time, the soul tribes are in the light. Innal abarara lafi liyin. Okay, we are above now. Okay, guys, we know that we have survived the onslaught. Okay, we've survived secularism, we've survived capitalism, we've survived the religion phase of our ascension. Okay, we decoded it. We did not debunk it. We did not attack it. We understood it as per how it was meant to distract us, and for us to understand where we must hold on to. Okay, so when the page flipped, when the age closed, okay, when the cycle restarted, we were on the ball because we were reading our books. We never did it for taking leadership. Today, 90% of the leadership across the border is compromised because they can't tell you how to read your book, because otherwise you're going to discover that they've been misleading you all your life. Okay? Anyway, Allah make it easy for all of us, brothers and sisters. But it's not them to be blamed again. It is you and I, because everything is only internally. Your Jannah is inside, your Jahannam is inside, your knowing yourself is inside, your Iblis is inside, your Shaitan is inside, your Fir'aun is inside, and your angels are. It's all just internal, people. Nothing's external. But if you are able to read your book, okay, then you are past the phase of death. Okay, you have overcome that challenge. Okay, that fear cycle. Then from there onwards, now when you are reading your scroll, you are in the Jannah, because then you are getting yaqeen now. You're getting direct data from source now. Okay. That's what the world not supposed to tell you. That's what we as soul tribes are enjoying. Okay? And it's not a matter of scoring points because we are not here for marketing purposes. We're not here to make people convinced that what they must believe. We are just here to ensure that those of the soul tribes, children, that is coming over now, like your children that you have forsaken because of you losing your way, we have to host them in the new house because you are caught up in shirk, okay, in idolatry. This is how the age closes, people. When a new house opens, a new bait, a new story, and we have scripted the story on the uh, online and platforms. MashaAllah, this is not about diminishing anybody's ego here. This is just by setting the record straight, people, that we can read our book. Can you read your book? Can she read her book? What did you prepare for your next generation so that they have access to their personal books, so that they know that Allah doesn't send people yani liyahan nie. Elke een het 'n boek, maar ons vergiet waar om die boek op te maak. Dan vergiet ons, dan vergooi ons die boek, dan dink ons as 'n boek wat ons nie kan verstaan nie. Almal verstaan hulle boek. God is nie dom en doofie man. Okay? Every dialogue is taking place, but you and I are just suppressing that, or we have been so badly disrupted and corrupted by the food manufacturers and fabricators that we can no longer even stay inside of ourselves. We cannot live with ourselves. We cannot stay alone with ourselves. We cannot remain silent with ourselves. We need the phone. We need to see a TV. We need to be on the road. We can't sit still, people. Our 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 um our punishment is that we have no peace, okay? And whether you're going to look it for one night, Laylatul Qadr, that's capitalism. What you're busy with, people. You're busy with a God that created sin, and you are busy exchanging your time for the sins that you have accumulated for this last year, and inshallah next year you're going to do the same. People, you should now read the story and realize that your children are watching you, grandchildren are watching you, and you're saying, but mense doen dit elke dag dieselfde ding en niks raak beter nie. Dit raak net worse en hulle raak net banger en hulle raak net donker. Wanneer gaan hulle dan hulle eie liggie aan switch? Wanneer gaan hulle dan hulle Kietaab release? Ja? So you must remember there are people watching you, and those people are pure, man. And it's your own because Allah already gave them the script. What's for your oma? What's for your opa? What's for your ma? What's for your pa? Kyk as hulle die doen because jy moet nie doen nie wat hulle doen. Okay? That's how the orders goes, people. Wallahi, thumma wallahi. Now in Qiyamah, you must find peace. If you didn't find peace by this session, it means that you were not given your book, or your book was given in the wrong hands here. But each one is given their book. Okay? أما الذين أوتي كتابه بيمينه فسوف يحاسب حسابا يسيرا. You will come to understand when you read your book, it will be like a walk in the park. There would be no accountability because you can read it, man. You're going to avoid the issues because you're already being preempted as to what to do and what not to do. That's Qiyamah, that's Jannah, that's life post death because you are now engaging with a new source of relevance now. Okay? That is what we were prepared for the last 50, 60 years of our lives. That's the Baytun Nur that you were supposed to have entered today. Okay? That's the Laylatul Qadr that you are looking for on the outside. You'll never ever find it out. Wallahi, thumma wallahi. It's all inside of us. Okay? It's where you can read your book. There's no special malaikas. It's just coming down on one night. That's just the boogeyman, Mills and Boone story. Dis wat sy glo man, they given you things and nou glo dit en nou gaan sy aan soos 'n man, you must realize, you must be a bit more constructive in your way of approaching Allah. Don't make Allah so cheap. You hurt us when you make Allah so so low, okay? Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alayhi. May Allah Ta'ala grant your niyats to be accepted, Okay, may we see, may we understand our journey on earth. Yeah. May we understand how to find that which is eternal. Okay, may we overcome the fear of death. Yeah, like what our mothers and fathers are sitting with today. May we not be like them ever. May we never lose our sovereign identities. Okay, may we never fake prophecies. May we never fake to be who we are not. May we never be blind followers. Okay, may we never make a mockery of Allah in our lives as what our last generation did and currently is still busy doing. Okay, find your sovereign rights and find your divine rights and read your scrolls, read your book. Not your Quran. Julle gaan nooit die Quran kan verstaan nie. Is te diep vir julle. But understand yourself, man. Understand your divine purpose. Understand why you came. Understand where you're going to. Understand what is Jannah, man. You can't give any of these facts to your children, but you want them to believe. From which world, from which planet do you come? I want to know. When you send a next generation into a world that is the darkest world that you find yourself in, but you believe. You need to come to terms with what you are in. Okay. 7 years after Corona's invasion, a new world is coming into form. And Allah is assisting the new generations, not the generation that was substituted and um, they were destroyed. فَمَكَّرْنَاهُمْ وَدَمَّرْنَاهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. Okay? Because you went back into those synagogues and into that synagogues of Fir'aun's mindsets. Okay? And you went again and chased that false idols and still wanting to create more sins to show regret to a God that created you in sin. People, man, here, man, come on, man. Yo, jy kan hom opkom met 'n bittere story at this time of the years. AI is ook al daar al, man. But for why you are thinking and the way you are believing, my God, man, you believe in a God of sin, which we call C9, which is AI. It's artificial. You create it upon yourself because you hold yourself artificially accountable for something which God did not sanction, but you put yourself into. Okay? This is how the score of life is, people. And hell was paved by sincere intentions. So at this moment in our lives, and it's only got to do with your intentions. You are in a quantum loop of a civilization since COVID. Okay, quantum means the unknown, and if you understand what the unknown is, it is the Hajjul Akbar. Okay, where you have to let go of the handles and you got to find your true wings, right? Now, as parents today, you're supposed to have shown your children the aerial scope of where we are going to, because life is going to fast change and AI is going to change your reality as what you've never ever anticipated. Okay, the value of your things will be completely rearranged. Okay, digital stock we are speaking about here, with digital properties we are speaking about here now. It's a different now. What you had kept onto, what you thought was valuable, in COVID, your children already saw how valueless was it, because you held onto something that had no value, it had no meaning in our lives. You couldn't save yourself because God had diminished your powers. And today you still want to go back to that same synagogue, to that same God. You've made yourselves into the greatest laughing stock of a past civilization. And sad to say, you have ordained shirk in your lives as what you have come. Okay? Not because you didn't know the Quran, because you didn't read your own book, your kitab. That was the kitab that came down on Yawm Laylatul Qadr. For you to read your own scroll. Moenie lees iets wat jy nie kan verstaan nie. Lees iets wat jy moet responsible wees for. That which you are accountable for. That which you find yourself in. Don't look for false maghfirah. It's hypocrisy, people. Nothing changes after Ramadan. And this is not a reformation, this is a feast. And then you just go and pay your fitra. You're making a mockery, guys. It's a mockery now. And it's shameful to say that you have not come to your sanity to realize that your children is really watching you and ashamed. They are ashamed yani, um, of your unconscious acts in life. You must come to terms with that now, inshallah. Allah Ta'ala accept you just we are speaking these things not for you to know who we are, so that we can move the energy into the street so that the children can go home. Because their parents has not given them any access to to reading their own books. They rather wanted them to go back into a dark room where they found themselves returned. Okay? May Allah Ta'ala accept, and may you have the most beautiful moments of your journey on this beautiful hookah, and may Allah Ta'ala grant you understanding, deep understanding at this moment in our lives. وآخر دعوانا
يا مصطفى كل شيء